Greetings and salutations, I'm Keb. Welcome back to this Let's Play of EU4 as Alodia, and it has been a while since I played this game now. And let's see, we were just in a war with Ethiopia, I believe. And we were coring land, yeah, there we go. So, how are we gonna go from here? I think we're gonna have to try one more war with Ethiopia, just to wipe them out. And as soon as we've cored all this land, we do have a truce expiring with Veliata. Raita, however you pronounce it. And they, of course, are going to drag in Ethiopia, most likely. Yeah, they would. So we can start a war there, at least. Of course, we still aim for the Kushite Restoration, but the Mamluks are just way too strong for us. And I don't think any of our friends would even join if I tried. Only our two Coptic friends. The others would probably never join in that war. I might have to start a war with Adal. That would have been more possible. And yes, of course, we now currently suffer a malice to our diplomatic opinion because we just integrated Badri, or however you pronounce that. Let's see. That expires when? 10 years. Okay, that's gonna take a while. But we can promote a culture. We can promote a culture. Let's have a look. Yeah. One of these, though. I probably do want to promote them because that's the same culture as the Ethiopian capital, and the Ethiopian capital has tons of development. So we really would like that to be an accepted culture. Are we waiting for something with diplo points? Not really. Right, we can also choose another idea group. I don't think we can afford a diplomatic idea group. None of them seem worthwhile to us, to be honest. I mean, we don't really need the extra diplomatic relations and that kind of stuff, given how isolated we are. Trade, that's not really gonna help us either, because we don't really have the sufficient number of merchant nodes in this area. Exploration, that's gonna be too late. Colonialism has already fired, so the draw to take exploration is pretty much gone. Maritime, don't think these things would help us in any way, shape or form. Influence, there aren't many Coptics around, and the Christians are far, far away, so that wouldn't really help us. And then there's espionage, which is a bit of a mixed bag. I mean, the yearly corruption, that one, audit checks, that one really interests me. But everything else is kind of worthless, unless I was picking up tons of subjects. But I'm not going to be a major colonial power, then that would have been somewhat interesting. And of course we can't pick any administrative ideas right now, so it'll have to be a military idea, and again, naval's not going to be worth it. Offensive, we aren't strong enough to take advantage of that. Aristocratic is a bit peculiar, and has a bit of a mixed bag of things. But I'm not sure. Well, the military tech cost reduction is nice, but I think it's going to come down to one of these three. I mean, defensive will give us a ton of morale early on, and that's certainly going to help us fight battles. The land maintenance modifier there is also rather nice. Quality, always good to have a stronger army. There are quite a few ideas that go towards navy here too, but quantity is probably what we're gonna need to go for first anyway. We don't have much men. Our army is pretty weak. We need to boost the numbers there first, so we can rival the Mamluks properly. And of course, the manpower recovery speed would be a godsend. And we suffer too much attrition on just about everything here down here. So the land attrition would also be helpful. Yeah, I think we're going to go with quantity. Of course, we're not going to dive into that just yet. I do need to stay on par with our neighbors. Especially the Mamluks. Especially when they have... Oh! They no longer have that god king of theirs. Well, that's good. And they have not picked land military ideas. That's also a good thing. So the only thing they have going for them right now is their cavalry combat ability. Plus, of course, they all have the Muslim tech group, so they have awesome cavalry early on. Yeah, tech groups, by the way. Which am I in? I assume I'm in the African tech group, right? Yeah. Looks like it West African, yeah, so that's... I assume that's the Sub-Saharan one. So they get their units. And even though I just played Congo, I don't actually remember whether or not they were stronger or weaker than compared to other tech groups. Oh well, yeah. What we were thinking about promoting agriculture, I'm going to just promote them right away before I forget. It's going to help us out a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, of course, we're still a tribal kingdom. I would have loved to reform, but that ain't going to happen anytime soon. And we're currently a tribal monarchy, which isn't that advantageous compared to, say, despotism or even federation. I mean, we don't have subjects right now. So right now this doesn't work for us. Stability modifier. Yeah, okay, it's gonna save us some points. But if we go to Federation, will all my royal marriages be dissolved? Is that considered a republic? And a despotism? It's 100 points right now. I'm not sure if I want to pay that. Put it another way, will converting our government result in less points overall over time? 10% co-creation cost. So say this one would cost 20 points less. I suppose that would work out eventually. But what about stability purchases? I mean, that's roughly the same. I think we're gonna keep what we have. We have to stay at peace for a while anyway. War exhaustion is way high. And let's see, that's gonna speed. Probably should on pause and get things started. And we'll see what happens since it is a new session. Yeah, shuffling around. Alodia set Ethiopia as a rival. Yeah, that's good. And Ethiopia, the Mamluks didn't immediately declare war on us. Right, I cannot take that idea right now. We need this first. What kind of sucks is that our current leader is absolutely rubbish at military stuff. I'm actually considering abdicating in favor of the heir. Of course, he has to come of age first, so no matter what, we are kind of stuck waiting for a while. Need to digest this. Have at least one more with Ethiopia, whom should be... actually, they are relatively on par with us as well. Unfortunate. And we are also converting what little land we just took, I think. Good. That one's done. March back. Cut army funding. Where is this missionary? Costly. Oh yes, of course. I have some heathens on this side too now. It'll take a while to regain our proper balance in that regard, I suppose. Okay, how many favors do we have right now? 10 favors, you're ready to go. You have 13, you're ready to go. 17 with you, you're ready. So are you. Awesome. As long as they don't declare wars before I'm ready to fight another war with Ethiopia. All I need to do is just core this stuff. But it would be nice to have more claims on them. Of course, I don't want to be too weak either, because the Mamluks do have a CB on us, I believe. Yeah, plenty of them. Wait a second, do they have a CB on the Ottomans as well? Okay, so they do board the Ottomans at this point. It is the Ottomans that we can see on the doorstep there. I'm not sure why the Ottomans aren't moving in on the Levant. Or even here. I really wish we could get map spread over there. It would be really nice to actually meet them. Can I trade maps at this point? Is that too soon? Can I steal maps, maybe? Wait a second, can I do that now? I might have to try that. Let's see. 50 mil points or a free commandant. No, I'm gonna go with the mil points. And that allows us to buy tech, which we're gonna do immediately. Okay, now we can start investing into ideas, since we are finally on par. And yes, I know I can create states. I'm waiting for Tigray, I believe. Let's see, states and territories, where are you? Yeah, Tigray, because that has a fair amount of development. I believe that's the richest one right now, right? States and territories. So for development, Tigray is the richest one. We have not made a state, so yeah. And I think we only can afford one, so we want that. And of course, in Central Ethiopia, we already have as a state, so we don't need that. And we're gonna get more soon. I really would like to get Alexandria. So here's the thing. I looked around the map to try to find the most ideal site for a new capital, because Soba is great, so sure enough, 36 development, and we'd have to keep developing it in order to bring colonialism to us. That's not an immediate concern of mine, because Soba is a rubbish place for it, really. I mean, we're paying an extra 20% just because of the province itself, drylands and arid. Ideally, we'd want to have a center of trade as our capital. Unfortunately, the local center of trade are pretty rubbish. The Ethiopian capital, of course, is nice. Unfortunately, it is in a highlands province, so the cost goes way up because of that, 20% for highlands. And of course, it's also arid, so that's another 5%. Same thing goes down here, I believe. Let's switch to simplified terrain. Yeah, that's also highlands. So that's also ridiculously expensive, even if you manage to take it. Then we have the next coastal central trade over here. That's coastal desert. So that's another 25%. So that's quite horrible. Down here, that's steppes. So that's plus 20%. Over there, that's mountains. So that's also rubbish. So all of these nearby centers of trade are really rubbish in terms of the development stuff. And since the centers of trade reduces the reduces the development cost by 5% and is vital for by the time the global trade institution comes around, you really want your capital to be a center of trade. And that means Alexandria is really the best thing possible for us. It already has tons of development, so it would probably be possible at least for us to move there. I think there's a new mechanic where you can't move your capital unless it has adequate development levels. Something like that. 103, yeah. Okay, so we can move it, just costs more. Okay, good, good. So it doesn't really matter. I thought it was some kind of blocking there. So you couldn't actually move your capital at all if you didn't have matching development levels. But that's apparently not the case, it just costs more. And that means Alexandria would be the ideal place because it's coastal center of trade. So that's 5% off on development cost. It is much closer to Europe, much closer if you want to wait for the spreads. It is a farmland province, so it's actually ideal for development, unlike the arid drylands we're currently situated in. So yeah, of course we'll have to wrest it from the Mamluks, and that's gonna be the challenge. But yeah, that's my dream capital right now. I mean, Cairo is also nice, but it's not the center of trade, and of course it costs much more. So yeah. That's gonna be our long-term plan, I think. There, now we should be able to make Tigray a state. This is Tigray, right? Yeah. Create a state. And then we have to pay for that, probably. Yes, we do. And... fine, converting. Oh my. Oh, these... oh, that's gonna be ugly. Okay, fine, we're gonna have to convert the other ones first. And both our estates demand territory. Of course they do. Actually, this one could be given over to the burghers. Let's have a look here. You are very loyal right now. So are you. I can't really do much at any rate. Yeah, okay, fine. You are gonna go to the burghers because you're at center of trade. You didn't need it, but I'm gonna go that route anyway. This one I'm probably gonna hand over to the clergy, so they can keep the revolt risk down. It's gonna take a long time before we can convert that. And this one is largely worthless, and I can't even do anything with it. I can't hand it over just yet. That's also territory, fine, so I can't give that away. Yeah, probably one of those new ones for the nobles. But which one? I guess, and that seems like the... actually no. Here's the problem. This is an accepted culture now. This is not, but that has a more valuable trade good. Plus 0.3 trade value, plus 0.7 trade value. So in the very long term, this province would make us more money in production. Even with the difference in culture. Actually, the culture doesn't affect production values. It affects the tax modifier, sure enough. But that's pretty rubbish in both cases anyway. This is higher manpower already. You know what? Let's just increase scoring cost. Oh! Oh, I didn't realize that. I've never really seen Samian on the map, but apparently they have those horrible traditions with increased scoring costs. Huh. They've already converted it. I believe that starts out as Jewish. But yeah, okay, fine. We're gonna hand this one over to the nobility. I think. In the long term, I think that's gonna be better for us. Okay, we have corruption. Yes, I know. Not much I can do about that right now. Did we core everything? Ugh. Of course you demand increased pension, you bastards. Okay, fine, I'm gonna accept it. And I'm immediately gonna extract levies from you at the very least. So we get some of that back. Here I can't really... I could ask for points there, but they'd be unhappy. I can't afford that right now. Did we core everything? We did, and the truce is up. We still have tons of war exhaustion. Do you want to pay money for it? To just get rid of it? I wonder. Oh no. No. Rajan Adal Pate, one side. Sangali and Malindian. Okay, so none of our friends are in that war. Which is kind of what I was afraid of. Bring my diplomat home. I need to see my options here. Okay, can drag you in. I cannot get Alodia or Makuria. Sorry. Yeah, words. What about you guys? Okay, you're only hesitant because of my diplomatic reputation. And that means 10 years of waiting. If I were to start a war on this side, that would definitely bring in Ajuran. And if I would fight there, Yemen would come. So I don't really want their lands right now. What I really want is to get my friends here to fight Ethiopia. Unfortunately, the only one who would join me right now was Enaria. None of the others would, because of my diplomatic reputation. Arg. Oh, yeah, accepted cultures. Yeah, I do think that's gonna be worth it. Because that's not in our cult. Oh, I should have checked that first if it was in our culture group. Don't think it is. Darn it, map modes. Yeah, it's not in our accepted culture group, so that's fine. It is an accepted culture now, and that's okay. Though everything here is converted, so I wouldn't gain anything from that. So all the cultures down here Somali. They are, at least here. It's gonna take a while before the next culture group, isn't it? And I kinda want to reserve the Egyptians for that. The next culture group, which is at Tech 8. Oh, that's gonna take a decade or two. At the very least. Okay, so I have some options. I can either start a war right now. My army just about equivalent of these two guys. It's just about that. And we have taken all their forts. They only have their capital fort left. So it should be a lot faster. Just irks me that I can't drag in the other guys simply because of our diplomatic reputation. And there's no way for me to gain +3 diplomatic reputation out of the blue here. Or is there? No, that's +1. That wouldn't suffice. That would not offset the problem we have. Do we have any other modifiers going on? These two? Kind of find it funny, we have both the tax income boost and the tax income loss at the same time. It seems kind of odd. And we also have this mission that ain't ever gonna fly. But I want to try it anyway. The admin points are nice. And of course we still want to reform at some point. I'm not sure how the hell we're gonna do that. Finishing Ethiopia, finishing administrative ideas. Yeah. As much as I'd like to do that, we kind of have to stay on par with Czech anyway. Yeah, do we want to fight? Why do I have this guy in charge if this guy is so much better? Is this one of those leaders I recruited from the nobility? Yeah, I think it is. No, it isn't actually. Still 4-1. These are all highlands and mountains, so I can't really attack him there. I'll have at least one separatist uprising before then. You know, I'm just gonna increase the maintenance. And wait, we are gonna have to start a war, I think. Sure, have military access. I strongly suspect... Yeah, this rebellion is gonna fire. I might as well prepare for it. I strongly suspect Adjudan will start a war. On Marjan. And I really would like this to be on my terms, so let's try to fix that. How many more points do I need to fabricate a claim here? 35, okay. They're also allied to Ethiopia, so I could use them too. And that will give me time to at least deal with the rebellion over there first. We'll see if I manage to fabricate a claim here. It's gonna be fine. Though, why wouldn't Ethiopia... Was it you that started? Was it Marjan that started the war? Okay, Marjan started the war. I thought it was Wajangali. Barely making any money right now. War exhaustion is going down, thank goodness for that. It's gonna get, we're getting tons of unrest from that. I really should buy it down. I can do that next month. Or do we want to? Here's the thing, we really want this one to fire, all things considered. Before we start a war. Ah. Oh, good lord. Wait a second, this is new. Okay. If we decline, we also get diplomatic reputation -1 until... Oh, you little bugger. So you decided to start fighting here. Ah. Should have gone to war immediately, clearly. I'm gonna have to think about this for a moment, so I'm gonna take a short break here and see if I want to help our friends or not. Thank you for watching.